Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, quickly, we are touching on watchkeeping. I told you what watchkeeping is, those assignments you are given in a vessel at a particular time. You could be watching the engine, that is called engine watch. You could be on the deck watch, all those things. And I also mentioned that you must be trained. You must have the certificate of competence. And I mentioned that not necessarily that everybody in the vessel has a certificate of competence. There are people who are doing other things. And those people, I forgot to tell you in my last lecture, they are called ratings. They are called ratings. Ratings, maybe if I can give a short definition. Ratings are mariners without certificates of competence. They are employed to assist in different tasks. Like I said, somebody might be able to do mooring, cleaning the ship, for instance. Cleaning the ship, when you clean the ship, you also clean the holes. For instance, cleaning the holes, repairing the broken lines, and ropes. So those are called ratings. So we need those kinds of people there. But today we are about watchkeeping. Now I'm going to summarize what is really required for watchkeeping. You have the certificate now. You have passed, which means that you must be fit for duty. Fit for duty, you must not be sick. You must not be found wanting. You must understand watchkeeping arrangements and principles. Understand watchkeeping arrangements and principles to be observed. You need to observe certain principles when you are going to do watchkeeping. Those principles are elaborated in the convention and its code. I've forgotten that the convention has got a code. It's not a convention only, there is a code attached there. What is a code? Good practice is not a convention. A code is not a convention. One time, just a short story about a code and a convention. I was in Los Angeles, representing my country, leading a delegation of my country, and I found in a meeting somebody who said that my country is bound by a code, the mere signing of a code of good practice. You are bound by that. I had to address this one because I believed, I'm also a lawyer by the way, I believe that in a convention you are bound by a convention itself. A code is just a good practice. It's a code of good practice which countries just agree. Let's work this way. My country, the country is bound by a convention, and that convention is signed by my president. Even before ratification of the convention, we take it to Parliament. The parliamentaries must agree that the country must be part of that particular convention or must not be part. If Parliament agrees that the country should be part of a convention, then the president signs. And then the president signs. That document is presented to the Ministry of International Relations, who will present the ratification document to the Secretary General of IMO. Then my country is bound. Now, this ISPS code we developed at IMO was never taken to Parliament in my country. So I cannot go internationally and say my country is bound by a code. I say we are part of this code. We work together as officials in the implementation of this code we agreed on at IMO, and it ends there. Now the obligation part is with the convention itself. So we are obliged via the convention. So now if it's a code only, look at for instance, an example, and the ISPS code is a security convention. In my country, the whole security is implemented or is looked at by another department. Security in my country is dealt with by the Navy, right? So anything that involves security, the Navy is at the forefront, especially at sea. I cannot, as a Department of Transport, go to America and say, okay, fine, I agree. According to this code, we are bound. I need to go back to the Navy Defense Intelligence, let me articulate, and say, okay, we have this problem in ISP's code. How do you advise us to go on with it? Because now when it comes to security at sea, we are not at the forefront of it. We cannot because of the ISPS code. No, we can't. We work with other people who are superior to that level. So having said that, you must look at the obligations, and then you don't sell your country. You must refer things that are not governed by you to the people who do that kind of job. In my country, is the defense intelligence in the Navy or within the Navy. So I'm still dealing with the I'm sorry for digressing. It's because this is important. That's why I say countries must send people who are smart, because you will end up being a spy of your country without knowing it. We have another requirement in the standards. It's certification. I've already mentioned this. And also you must understand voyage planning. That's why you need to be qualified. You must understand how this voyage is planned. Now the people like ratings don't affiliate in the voyage planning. We need the masters there, officers and engineers and all those qualified people I've already mentioned, who have certificates of competence. You must understand watchkeeping at sea. I'm talking about standards of watchkeeping. Understand watchkeeping at sea. You will have been trained as DCW, so there's no reason why you won't understand it. Principles to be observed in a navigational watch. You must know those principles. I've already said that. Amongst those, you'll find watchkeeping arrangements. Taking over. Remember, there was another team. Now they are going to rest. You are coming in. You must understand the procedures to be followed when you are taking over watchkeeping. You must understand that. Performing the watchkeeping itself. Remember, we move from understanding the taking over process. And then now, performing the watchkeeping itself. You must understand procedures. Watchkeeping under different weather conditions. You must understand. Now, what does that mean? I talked about weather one other time. Watchkeeping in clear weather, meaning that there are no hassles as far as weather is concerned. Watchkeeping in restricted visibility. It's not clear, it's misty, right? There's snow falling, and anything that can make you not see somehow along the line. Watchkeeping in the hours of darkness, that is at night. You must understand that. Watchkeeping in coastal and congested ports. For instance, you are getting to waters, congested waters, not necessarily ports. Coastal and congested waters. How do you do watchkeeping there? Navigation when the pilot is on board. Right? You must know that. There are procedures to be followed when the pilot is on board. We'll deliberate on that later in my next videos. This thing is becoming bigger as we go. Bigger as we go. So that's why I'm taking step by step slowly. Now you must understand what to do when a pilot is on board. Who is a pilot in the first place? Watchkeeping when a ship is anchoring. Let me put it that way. Anchoring, I said, the ship might be on the queue, waiting to enter a port. They queue, one after another. They have their own specific times to enter the port. So a ship has to anchor somewhere, throw the anchor down. Yeah, we'll deliberate on the anchor. I've already mentioned an anchor anyway. There is also another part of watchkeeping. Principles to be observed in keeping an engine watch. What do? You are assigned, you are deployed in an engine. I should think an engineer really should be deployed there, not anybody else. Somebody will understand the changes in the engine. So, we are dealing with that now. Basically, all the principles apply. All the principles I've already mentioned apply, including restricted visibility, coastal, congested, ship at anchor. They apply at the engine as well. What do you do now? So you need to save also the engine. It must be saved, it must be protected, everything must be done. You connect with everybody. If the engine is not working well and it's not visible, you must know what to do. All those things are deliberated in the SDCW. I'm not dealing with it now. I'm just mentioning few points. Principles to be observed in keeping radio watch. I talked about radio watch. People who are watching there in the bridge. People who are listening to the announcements, what is happening, where the ship is, so that you are able to manage emergencies. Now you are in the radio watch. What are you supposed to do? All the general provisions that I have already mentioned apply once more. And watch arrangements are done. You must understand them. And also procedures to manage radio watch. You must understand what kind of activities you need to do when you are at the radio watch. Because now you are the person who is going to give information as announced in the radio watch. Watchkeeping in the port. Now you are entering the port. You are doing the watchkeeping. What should you be looking at? Because everybody relies on you. All the principles of watchkeeping that are already mentioned, you need to be well versed about them. So, is it visible? Is it misty? Or is it at night? What do you do? So you need to know those kind of shipping. You must understand the watching arrangements as well. You must understand the taking over of the watch. They have procedures, they are already there. You get them filed accordingly so that you understand what you should be doing. So now, these watch-keeping activities, they are regulated as Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4 in the regulations, watch-keeping regulations or watch-keeping standards. You will find them there. Once you were trained by your agency, training agencies, you will also get them in the vessel. It's not a matter of forgetting them. They are always there for you for revisiting. So now to summarize them, you need to know how to take over a watch, how to do a watch keeping, how to take over engineering watch, how to perform deck watch, how to do engineering watch, how to watch in the port, how to do watch keeping in ships carrying dangerous cargo. Remember about the dangerous cargo, you must be able to do. There is also an IMDG code you need to understand. You'll get all those things when you are learning. IMDG code is a code that is managing dangerous cargo, even including stowing them in the holds. How do you do that? Because we said a ship can burn in your watch, right? Ship burn in your watch. What do you do? Now, I've already told you about the convention that you are going to rely on. I've told you about the code, watchkeeping code. That is the STCW code on watchkeeping. And then I've told you about who does what, who is a seafarer, who is a rating. I said a rating is not a seafarer, is anybody who is assisting in the vessel. Anybody. I've told you about the radio watch. I've told you about the engineering watch. Now, if you are doing the radio watch, you need to be able to collect information as announced appropriately from the appropriate frequency band. Now, sometimes you use companies that are providing such information, like Imasat. Imasat will be giving you information of whatever happening in the area where the ship is. So you must be a user of Imasat. Now, to be a user, you pay the company because it's a company. It's not like they are in business. You buy that kind of information, they will provide you. So wherever you are, you will know what are the emergencies that are there, anything, including weathers, everything. If there is an emergency, it will be announced emergency. So you have that kind of information in the radio watch. So you provide your colleagues with such information as required. Now, what is Imasat, by the way? What kind of company it is? It is a British satellite communication company, like LRIT, for instance, long range identification systems, where a ship has got to be picked up where it is for security reasons. This one, it will be communicating any other information you need. It's a British company offering this kind of global mobile satellite. It provides telephone and data services to the vessels wherever they are. It could be via a portable or a mobile terminal which communicates with the ground stations all over the world. I think there are 13 of them globally now, but I'm subject to correction in that. There are those ground stations that will be receiving that information wherever you are, where they can get to. So you get the information as you go through that satellite company. Is a British satellite company. Ladies and gentlemen, watchkeeping. You are deployed in an area in the vessel to do a job. You use your skills as you were taught. You look at the procedures. You follow the procedures to the letter. I thank you.